Dead Draw Gaming. Like no one ever was.
What's up, Dead Draw family? Okay, we are back. It is day 12, which is pretty sweet. We're 12 days in a row, so that's awesome. Back in the studio again, and it is 2:20. It doesn't work. 2:20 in the morning. Late, but it is what it is. And I want to talk to you. I told you guys we're going to get a little more serious this week. I want to talk to you guys about the business, like building your business, building your brand, why we're doing what we're doing, kind of going over the passion behind everything, which is what I talked to you about earlier. This video is going to be maybe a little bit longer. I don't really know. This is like super unscripted, super unplanned. Just want to get through it and kind of tell you everything about kind of why I do this business, so you can relate to me a little bit more, relate to Dead Draw Gaming. So I'm going to get into some stuff. It's pretty personal. I'm not going to, yeah, it'll be fine. So a lot of you guys don't know who I am, but for those of you who do know who I am, so I've been in the game for a little bit of probably since like the Phantom Forces era. Played competitively for like a year, and then took some time off. Didn't really, I guess I had never really played super competitively, but went to a couple events, wanted to be competitive, just didn't have the time. Life gets in the way. Pokemon has always been a super important part of my life, just because like growing up it was kind of an escape for me. I've always been somebody who's been like into sports, played sports in high school and college, didn't really get into Pokemon, or I was into Pokemon but didn't really talk about it because didn't want to, like, I don't know, just because I thought it was nerdy at the time. Probably still is nerdy, and that's okay. I've just become like okay with it now, I guess. But yeah, the business side of things, I had cards throughout my entire life. After I got married, I sold all of them to help pay for our wedding, and then kind of stayed out of the game and got back into like the bulk game, started a couple businesses. I've been super ambitious. I've always worked with other people. I've never wanted to do anything by myself, so I've always had other people that have come along. It's just never worked out. So before Dead Draw Gaming started, I had done 2 different businesses for Pokemon where I partnered up with different people, and it just didn't come to fruition because, well, they kind of screwed me over. So I was very hesitant when Dead Draw Gaming became a thing, but there were different reasons then about why I decided to do it and why I decided to go all in. We all have things that motivate us, and I really want to talk to you guys about why I do this business, why the hashtag 2020 Vision is still very much in effect, why it's so important to me, and why I'm not going to stop until we get there. Next year we're going to have a storefront sometime, or I'm going to literally like die trying. It is so important to me because I'm a man of my word, and I told you guys we're going to do it, and I want to keep that promise. So I don't even really know where to begin. This is just kind of weird to me. So if you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know a little bit about my story, hopefully. And if you haven't, I'm just going to kind of go over it now. So when Dead Draw Gaming started, there had been some events that had happened in my life that led up to it. I've lived a lot over the past few years, a lot more over the last few years than a lot of people live in their entire lifetime. So my oldest daughter, who is 3.5 years old, Lacey, who you have seen open videos, she's super funny, she's amazing. Right before she was born, I got sick. And it wasn't, like, I've always been a healthy person. I don't talk about this often, really, never. And a lot of people in the competitive world don't know anything about this. About a month before she was born, I got sick. I started having pains. Like I said, I played sports my entire life. I was very healthy. I ran marathons, I exercised, I ate okay, I like worked out all the time, like I was always in good shape. But I just started feeling like pains, and right before she was born, I went in to see a doctor for it, and they took blood work and told me I had to go to the emergency room, and it got scary. Then she was born, and then like 2 weeks went by. I was on antibiotics. I was in the hospital for a few days. I couldn't pick up my daughter as soon as she was born. I couldn't carry her. I couldn't do anything. It was very, very tough for me. Took antibiotics for a couple weeks. That helped. And then as soon as the antibiotics ran out, the pain came back, and it was bad. So I went back to the emergency room, ended up going in for about a week, had my appendix ripped out. It wasn't a great procedure. It was a lot more inflamed than they originally thought. Went home, still couldn't pick up my daughter. Went in for my follow-up appointment, and my pathology report was bad. They found out that I had cancer, which sucked, and it wasn't something that I wanted to hear, especially at the age that I was at, because there was nothing that I could do about it. Like, it wasn't a decision that I had made. It wasn't like a poor life decision or anything like that. It was just like this really rare form of cancer that I just had to deal with. So I went back into the hospital for surgeries and treatments, and I spent about a month in the hospital. Couldn't hold my daughter for like the first month and a half that she was alive, which is awful. And that was kind of the moment where I decided that I didn't want to waste my life anymore, I guess, and I wanted to do things that were super important to me. And that's kind of where like Pokemon came into play for me. And I know it sounds corny, I know it sounds weird, but in my mind, like, when you want to start a business or when you want to do something, you go all in. Like, I don't take advantage of days anymore. And that's why I stay up late. That's why, like, I work so hard, because my family is so important to me. Caring for my kids is like the most important thing to me. Being able to provide for the people that I care about is what matters to me. That's what drives me all the time. And if you don't have that burning passion, that burning desire, I wouldn't recommend doing much of anything. And you can relate this to literally anything that you do, whether it be forming a Pokemon business or a TCG business or trying to find a 2020 vision storefront. Hopefully we can all find a 2020 vision, and you can decide what it is that you want to do, whether it be a competitive Pokemon player or a Magic player, or start your own business of selling cellos. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that drives you is what's important. What you do with your time is what defines you, and that's kind of where my mindset kind of changed, because for a lot of times, or for a long time, like I said, I got kind of screwed over by a couple people. I thought some people in the community were snakes, didn't want to work with them. I'm a man of my word. I do what I say I'm going to do, and I'm very, very loyal, and people take advantage of that. So I didn't want to work with anybody, and when I first started talking to Dan about forming a business, I was very hesitant and kind of like standoffish about it. But then I told myself, like, hey, you know, if you're going to do this, do it right. Go all in right away. And I have been ever since day one. And I told you guys, like, I didn't want to risk anything from the beginning. We didn't start with like an initial investment outside of like a few cards. I sold my entire collection to buy this house. So we started with basically nothing. Just a bunch of friends who were like, hey, we want to support you guys. And that's kind of how it started in Madison Regionals of 2016. And it's grown into what you see today. About a year ago, the cancer came back. You guys probably don't know, but I've been dealing with treatments for the past year. It's a lot better now. It's been different. The cancer that I have just kind of spreads like through the bloodstream. It's tough to open up because I don't want people to like feel pity for me or sympathy or anything like that. I just want you guys to know that there's got to be something inside you that drives you to do what you're doing. And that's kind of why I'm opening up. If I'm going to like talk to you guys on a daily basis, I guess I want you to know where I'm coming from and where this business is coming from. This is going to be like the only super serious video that we have, and it's kind of early on in our channel stages, so it's hopefully won't get like a ton of views because I'm super secretive of a person. But yeah, so I've been dealing with that. I'm a lot better than what I was about a year ago, or 10 months ago, 8 months ago, somewhere around there. And hopefully, you know, I know I will beat everything again, and I'll be at Madison Regionals. I won't be at Hartford, unfortunately. But Dan Slams will be there. It'll be great, and we'll keep moving forward. But I really want to talk to you about the why and the passion, which I've kind of already touched on. Everybody has struggles, right? Like, everybody has things that go on in their life that are obstacles all the time. My family has them, your family has them, you have them. And you can't let them deter you from trying to make a difference or trying to make something happen. We're all going to have things that we go through. What you do is going to define who you are as an individual. So you can always respond in any sort of way. You can shut down, you can not do anything, or you can respond. You can rise up to the occasion, and that's kind of the path that I'm deciding, and that Draw Gaming is deciding. And Dan and Darren have been fantastic. You know, I told them about everything that was going on right when it happened. Darren and Dan flew in like flying colors and took over and ran Toronto, ran Greensboro. It's been fantastic. I've been helping out as much as I possibly can. Don't take your days for advantage. You don't know what tomorrow is going to be. And I am not that old of a person. Like, I'm still pretty young, so to be going through and have gone through this stuff in my life, like, I'm very confident, and I'm very happy with how my life is. But at the same time, I really want to hit my goals. And that's kind of the mindset that I have moving forward every single day. And that's why 2020 vision is so important to me. That is my burning desire. That is my why. I want to provide for my family. I want to achieve my goals. Pokemon is so important to me. If you don't have a business and you want to start one, stop waiting. Like, do it. And like I said, it could be cellos. It could be anything. It doesn't matter what you're passionate about. Find something that you love and figure out a way to make it work. The only thing that's stopping you is you. And I didn't want this to be like a hoorah-rah video or anything like that, but it's really, there's got to be something deep down inside you that pushes you. Every single night I'm like, I can't go to bed yet because I haven't accomplished what I said I was going to accomplish. And that's kind of what's important to me. So if you just want to be somebody who's like, hey, I want to win a regional event, then nobody is stopping you. Then do it. Like, seriously, I believe in you. I know you can do it. You just got to put the work in, and that's, you know, that's the thing. Like, it's the work. You may not know where to begin. I don't know where to begin. We've been, you know, for the past couple of years, we've been trying so many different things, trying to see what sticks. And now we're kind of at a crossroads where we gotta figure out something else that sticks as far as YouTube goes. So we're just gonna keep trying different stuff and see what it is. But the 2020 vision is still very much in effect. That is going to happen, or we are going to just keep fighting like crazy until it does. So keep with us. I'm not gonna do a snack pack today because it's super late, and this video was already a little bit more intense than what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys a lot, and I truly mean that. When we talk, Dan and Darren are seriously like the most wonderful guys. I couldn't be happier with who I work with. Like, they're super loyal, and they're very passionate, and they're very real, and that's what this is. Like, this is real life to me. Like, you get to see me open up in my basement, which I call a studio, just because I wanted to have a nicer name. But this is a basement right now, you know, and one day next year it's going to be a studio, and we're going to keep driving to that together, and hopefully you come along for the ride. And if you don't, no hard feelings. I believe in me a lot, and I believe in Dan a lot, and I believe in Darren a lot, and I believe in you guys a lot, and I think we'll go somewhere special together. We've already done a whole lot of great things, and it's just about pushing forward to the end. And hopefully I don't get on a soapbox too much, because like I said, I've been through a lot, and it's important to me to make this happen. I think we will, and I know that we will, and I appreciate, like I said, everything that you guys have done. Stick with us. Team DDG is fantastic. You guys are fantastic. This channel is fantastic. I really appreciate everything that's happened. If this is your first time in the channel, or you know, you've been here 100 times, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, smash that like button. I told you guys about scam. We're gonna find out in a couple days if it is or not. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. I bought a bunch of Ultra Prism booster boxes for super cheap. Really nervous about it, but I got a lead about it, and we'll see if it comes to fruition or not. But the tracking information was updated today in New York, so it could be here as soon as Saturday. So I'll talk a little bit more about that on the channel tomorrow. Hopefully get out this weekend and show you guys some where I live and hit up some different stores. But yeah, so guys, love you very much, and until next time, peace.